Welcome, students. My name is Dr. Fred, and I will be your instructor for the summer at JCC. Your class obviously is Chemistry 130, and we're going to do it online. This is probably very new to a number of you, and believe me, it's also new to me. Last semester, a lot of us had to midstream of the semester convert into an online presentation, and so it brought us new challenges, but I think together we're going to be able to make this happen. Okay, so like I said, my name is Dr. Fred. We're going to spend the next 6 weeks talking about chemistry. Now, there's been some confusion with respect to meeting, and bottom line is this. I will present Zoom lectures Monday through Thursday, as I mentioned in my previous communication, at 2 to 3 o'clock, 2 until 3 p.m. Now, those Zoom meetings, as per departmental policy, are not mandatory, with the exception of the first one. So I hope that you can make arrangements for Monday to make sure you're there. Otherwise, I would have to drop you, okay? So if for some reason you cannot make it, send me a email through Canvas to tell me you can't make it to the Monday class, okay? So normally I would present this information in your first class, but given the time constraints that we have and the shortness of the semester, I'm going to present most of the material here. Okay, well, let me give you a little background on myself. I always wanted to know about my instructors and where they came from and how they got to where they're at. So very briefly, let me give you a little background, okay? I'm an Arizona boy, okay? You may be familiar with a town about an hour east of here called Superior. I grew up there many years ago, and I left there many years ago, and I joined the U.S. Air Force and spent some time with the Air Force. I am a Vietnam veteran, and so I got to go to some interesting places. Well, following discharge, I ended up in the Kansas City area, and I received my Bachelor's of Arts in Chemistry from a university called Avila University, okay? Which is ironic that I chose chemistry because chemistry was not my class. I really dislike it. But Avila really had a good way of presenting the data or the information, the course, and it just really turned me around. I continued with my education, stayed in the Kansas City area, and got my doctorate in organic chemistry from the University of Missouri in Casey. Okay. I am retired, and I'm a retired research scientist. My main focus was process and product improvement, got involved with a variety of different projects and products and so forth. And so, therefore, I tend to bring a little bit of a different picture to chemistry. I come from it from industry. Many of your instructors have been in academia their whole career, and where in my case I have not. So I try to emphasize problem solving with respect to chemistry and do a lot of analogies with respect to what you see in everyday life and how that applies to you with, as chemical reactions and so forth. Well, I have a lot to say about those as we proceed. My hopes is that by making you aware of what you see every day and really realize, hey, it's a chemical process, okay? The other aspect that I get a lot every semester is for those students out there that say, well, I can't do the math, okay? Math, it's too difficult. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you can add, you can subtract, you can divide, and I know all of you out there have calculators, you're capable of doing the mathematics. We will probably do a very little bit of algebra, a very basic algebra. But if those things are capable, as far as the mathematical functions that I just mentioned, you shouldn't have any problems. A good example is this. I want you to calculate this in your head and figure this out. You're working at a rate of $20 per hour. You work for 20 hours. How much money are you going to make? I'm sure most of you already got it. Okay. Well, you'll find that in chemistry here, we use that ratio, $20 per hour. And we're going to use those kind of examples quite a bit. And if you could just calculate how much money you made, I can guarantee you'll be able to do a lot of the calculations necessary, at least with respect to Chem 130 level. Okay. So adjunct, I've been an adjunct instructor here at GCC going on, I want to say 6 years, going into my 6th year. I also do adjunct at Scottsdale Community College, teach chemistry there. Prior to that, I was adjunct at Carrington College for approximately 5 years. So I was there part-time, but in that college, I taught chemistry, math, and physics. Okay. My previous experience, I have been involved in a number of industries out there. Being an engineer in the military, I did construction work. I also did customer service, food. I've been in the food and retail industry, did a lot of software programming, and also got involved in caregiving. Okay, so I've been involved with a multiple of industries. More important is that I understand a lot of you out there are working and going to school and trying to care for families, and it's quite challenging. So I get it. I understand that. It's a difficult process, but it's a process that somehow you need to figure out for yourself what works best. How to spend your time, how to organize your time so you can study and go over this material, because we're going to have a lot of material. I am a father of 8 and I would say 3/4 children. Yes, I got one coming here in about 10 weeks. And I also have 5 grandchildren. Okay. Now, something about the coursework. What we're going to do is we're going to take 16 weeks of chemistry that we normally do in the regular semester, and we're going to crunch it into 6 weeks. So it's a lot of work involved. And that's what I mean about organizing your time and trying to make sure you get some study time in here, because the summer semester is very short. We go through it very rapidly. Okay, so it's going to take a lot of investment on your part with respect to study. 15 to 20 hours might work, but you might need to do more. Or if you're doing okay, maybe less. Every person is obviously an individual and learns in different ways. So, but at the minimum, you're going to have to spend some time getting ready for this class and be able to complete it. Okay. And why is that? Okay. Well, I'll explain here in a second, because you're going to have to change your study habits. You're going to have to make it a habit to put time away, set time away. If it's 1, 2 in the morning, then so be it. I spent many hours, 2, 3 in the morning studying, because that's the only time I had. Okay, why are we going to do that? Because you're going to have 14 homework assignments. Okay, every chapter has a online homework assignment. They're short assignments, about 10 questions. We'll be dropping 2 of the 14. The lowest 2 will get dropped. You're going to have 5 quizzes, which would cover the different chapters that we have gone over. Again, those will be online. Okay. We're going to have additional 6 activities, variety of online activities for you to complete. Okay. And then obviously we're going to have at the end one final comprehensive exam covering all the chapters. So you can see the workload is there. Okay. Normally this gets spread out over 16 weeks, and we're going to try to get it knocked out in 6 weeks. All right, so start setting a schedule for studying time. and stick to that schedule becomes a habit. So you set that time apart so you'll be able to finish these assignments within the 6 week time allotted. So discipline yourself, okay, when it comes to your goal of getting a higher education, because that piece of paper, that degree is going to open up a lot of doors for you, a lot of opportunity for you. It's a big investment. And you once you achieve that and you finish here at GCC and go on and get your bachelor's, even your higher degree, um, it will open some doors that you probably can't imagine that you have available to you. Uh, from a personal standpoint, being raised in a small mining community, I never in my life believed that I could be responsible for research and development, and I was, small town boy, but I could not have done it without that piece of paper. So it's important, and I'm going to be here to help you as much as I can. Okay. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask. You need help. You can contact me through email, through Canvas. I have that. I get notified on my cell phone right away when an email comes in. And if I can respond to you right there on my phone, I will. If not, I need to get to a computer. I will email you and tell you, let me get to a computer. Okay. So seek help. I will have Zoom office hours on Friday. I believe I set them up from 1 to 2. Okay. So, come to the Zoom office hours with some questions so we can go over them. So also the department does have tutoring, online tutoring, so you get some assistance from tutoring in that aspect. So do not hesitate 1 minute to get some help if you need help, okay? Because it's your responsibility. This learning aspect is your responsibility. So don't blame others, okay? We have a lot of resources here for you. We can give you all the resources in the world, but if you don't step up and do this for yourself, there's no one else is going to do it. So anyway, time management, essential, okay? Why? Because we're going to cover a lot more material. We're covering the material that we normally cover in 16 weeks, but in much shorter time, okay? Some suggestions, okay? Read over the lecture notes. I have just uploaded my PDF files with their PDF files of the PowerPoint slides that I'll be using during the Zoom lectures. Print them out. Come to the Zoom lectures, write on them, make notes, okay? Also, you have, every chapter has a PDF file. That's the book. The book is free. So you got 15 chapters of PDF files worth. You have worksheets on the course website that you can download, print them out, work through them. You have 2 sets of videos that you're going to have access to. The first set of videos, which is on the course website, have been put together by Dr. Kim Smith. She's the one responsible for Chem 130 sections. And she has done a very good job of going over every chapter. All of us who are Teach 130 use the same PowerPoint slides. We cover the same topics. We may cover them a little bit differently, but we have to cover the same topics. So if you can't make it to a Zoom meeting, view the Dr. Smith's videotapes. Also, all the Zoom lectures that I will be doing will be recorded. I will upload them to my YouTube channel, which you will have a link to, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit. All right. So do that. So read over your lecture notes. Okay. Record the classes. Well, it's going to be recorded. Okay. But if you have to, take your notes and record yourself, and then you can listen to them. learning anything, it takes all the senses. You're looking at it, you're hearing it, you're actually doing it by writing it down. So using all your senses to help you learn this topic. And like I stated, I will record all the Zoom lectures that we do. Read the text, okay? Before you come to a Zoom lecture, read that chapter so you become familiar with it. So when I talk about it, it's not so foreign. Okay, so come prepared. You'll find that the topics, when I speak about them, they'll become clearer for you, and hopefully you were able to retain that information. So, but do read those chapters before you come to a Zoom lecture. I mentioned the videos on the course website. Those are the ones by Dr. Smith. Go in there and look at them, okay? It's going to take some time investment, but again, Dr. Smith and I talk about the same topics. She may have a different technique, a method of teaching it than I do. And maybe her technique is more understandable for you. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Use whatever resource you need to grasp hold of the topics that we're going to be going over throughout the semester. Also, YouTube. There are hundreds and not thousands of YouTube videos out there pertaining to chemistry. You just type in a topic and you're going to pop up with hundreds of them. Check them out, okay? Maybe Dr. Smith's technique or my technique, something you don't really get, go to YouTube. Maybe find someone else talking about the same topic. Listen to them. So, all right. On the course website, there are PDF files with practice problems. These problems, it's practice. The more you do, the more, the better it is for you. So work all the practice problems. They do have the key with them, but don't look at the key. Download it, work the problems through. If you don't understand it, those are the type of questions you can bring over to Fridays for the Zoom office hour. We can share it here. You have the function to share whatever digital file you need, and we can go over it and help you through that. Help you understand a little bit better. It's a good idea to put everything away roughly about 30 minutes before you got to take an exam or do one of these online quizzes, kind of give your brain a little bit of time to reset. It's been found that, about a 30-minute wait and put your books away kind of gets you in a good frame of mind to complete the assignments that you need to complete. All right. Now, this whole new world of online teaching used to be you can, get a little study group. Well, you still can. Okay. It's been shown that 2 to 3 people in a study group is very, very good with respect to helping each other. You have access now. If you don't have the Zoom app, you got WebEx, you have Google Meets, you have Hangouts, and even Messenger now has got their rooms. So amongst yourselves, once you become familiar with each other, feel free to create little study virtual groups. And if you want to invite me to go to your group for some answers, feel free to do that. And I'll be sure I'll be in there to help you out. So give that some thought. Now, which brings us to the syllabus here, and let's very briefly talk about it. I have uploaded this file, so you have it. Okay, so let's go over it briefly. Of course, here instructor information. There's my name, office hours or location. We're going to do Zoom from 1 to 2 on Fridays. Okay. Now, with respect to contacting me via email, do use the Canvas email. The other email, which is the gccaz.edu, that's not always reliable. I found that when you send an email by that route, it doesn't come to my phone right away. The Canvas email does. I haven't had a problem with it. So also, that's really the official mode of communication between instructor and student. So we have record of the communication between the two. So use the Canvas email. If you don't have it, you may, and this is your first time you're using Canvas, you may want to download the Canvas app so you can access your classes on your cell phone or your electronic device. Okay. We have there the link to the course website. Take some time to visit that course website. It does have all the chapter PDF files of the chapters. It has all the worksheets. It has all the videos. Just a multiple of information there for you. Okay. Now, the course format is going to be online, 3 credit hours. Okay, we'll be using Zoom because when we first started this a while back and I started using Zoom, they had a 40-minute limit with respect to time, but Zoom went ahead and extended those accounts that were educational based accounts, of which one was mine. So we don't have a time limit with respect to Zoom, so not to worry. Now, it is password protected. So in that link that I show there on the syllabus, if you all you need to do is click that link and it will send you directly to the meeting by one or two ways. One, it's either going to initiate your browser on whatever electronic device you have. Okay. It's going to ask you, do you want to download Zoom or do you want to use the browser? If you don't want to download Zoom, that's fine. Use the browser. Then Zoom is activated. The Zoom meeting is activated there. Okay. But that's the only way to get into the Zoom meeting, either by directly do that link, or if you're on your computer or whatever electronic device and you are in the Canvas course, I'll show you here in a minute. I'll show you, share with you the Canvas course. There is a button on the left panel labeled Dr. Fred's Zoom meetings. If you click that, it will ask you to open up a new tab. Okay. And then at that point, same question. Do you want to, if you have Zoom loaded onto your electronic device, it will open up the app, or the meeting will continue on your browser. Okay. Once you're in there, it has a waiting room. So you'll be sitting there waiting for me to let you in. I got to verify who you are and then click and you're into the room. Okay. So we'll go from there. I gave you the link here for GCC's tutoring service. Again, that is also online using Piazza. So there's the link. So feel free to use that. Okay. Course description, basically what the course is all about. And the course competencies, these are the items that we must cover as per Maricopa Community College's criteria. So there are 29 different criteria or information or topics that we need to discuss throughout the next 6 weeks. Okay. Your textbook, again, it's free. It's all in PDF format. You can either go to the website, but also on the course, Canvas course, you have access to that within Canvas. Okay. You will need a calculator. We'll be doing a lot of calculations here. You need to make sure your calculator can do what's called scientific notation. And it's just a fancy word for how to write big numbers or write small numbers. Okay. So make sure you have that function to do scientific notation. Attendance requirements. Well, obviously the first course or first day we meet on Monday is required. But after that, attending the Zoom meetings is not mandatory. If you can make it, that'll be great. If you can't, and you can view the Zoom recording after I upload it. It normally I normally try to get it uploaded the same day. It takes a little time for the recording to be converted to an MP4. Then I gotta upload it to YouTube, and then they convert it to their format. So it takes a little time, but I'll get it up there as soon as possible. Okay. Now, what does this mean with respect to attendance? So I don't have to go to the Zoom meetings? That's correct. But attendance encompasses you doing something on campus. We have ways to monitor if you've been on there for whatever time period, if you haven't been there. So go in there at least once, twice a week or more, and look at it. Do some of those assignments. That would constitute that you have attended class. Okay, by what you do on Canvas. Everything is open right now. All the assignments, all the homework and so forth is open. You're more than welcome to go jump ahead and do it. If you feel comfortable enough, don't hesitate. I will have more to say about the assignments here in a little bit. Otherwise, without attendance, and that means either attending the Zoom meetings and or interacting with Canvas with respect to assignments. If you don't do that, then I have no choice, but I have to send in a withdrawal. But I will notify you beforehand. Okay, so not to worry. All right, so if those of you taking the lab, if for some reason you find you need to drop the lab in the first 4 weeks of class, you must, excuse me, let me restate that. If you drop the lecture part within the next, 4 weeks, you must also have to drop the lab. Okay, so if everything in the lab's going fine, then and you need to drop the lecture part, well, I think that highlighted sentence tells you what you need to do. Okay. All right. So withdrawals highlighted here. Students who take the final exam are not eligible for a withdrawal. Okay. So if you need to withdraw, please notify me. And that's what you want to do. Don't assume it happens automatically. All right. But let me know through Canvas email that you're requesting a withdrawal. And then I can do that from my end of it. But if you take the final exam, I cannot issue a withdrawal. Okay. All right. So how's everything going to be graded? Well, we use the standard 90, 80, 70 scale. Okay. We're going to have the activities that I mentioned before, which are basically short assignments online. They're going to be worth 20% of your overall grade. The Canvas homework is 14 Canvas homeworks. There's 4. I know there's 15 chapters, but one chapter is combined. So there's 14, and the lowest 2 are automatically dropped. Okay. And then we're going to have essentially weekly quizzes that vary in times from on average about 60 minutes, and that's 40% of your grade. And then the final exam is worth 20%. Okay, final exam, all comprehensive. Okay, so activities are going to be 10 activities, roughly about 2 per week. Okay. Canvas homework, that's a misprint. There's 14 assignments instead of 15. Okay. The quizzes and finals are obviously individual efforts. Now, let me back up a little bit. Canvas homework. In Canvas homework, you have 2 attempts. Okay. So 2 attempts, and the highest grade is kept. Okay. I believe the activities are also 2 attempts. The quizzes and the final exams are timed okay, and only one attempt. Okay, so Canvas homework, multiple attempts, no time limit. Quizzes and final, single attempt, have a time limit. Okay. All right, so if you have to miss a quiz and you can't make it up for whatever reason, then we can take whatever you scored with respect to the final and replace the missing grade for the quiz. Replace that for the grade for the missing quiz, okay? You can only make up one quiz. Now, if you have to miss a quiz and you know ahead of time, by all means, please email me. Tell me I can't make it because of work or this or that, but we do need documentation though. So let me know beforehand so we can make alternative arrangements. Okay. Okay, so that's what we talk about here when we say excused absences. All right, now everything, all the homework and activities, they will be available. When it comes to Canvas, there's 3 dates you put in and times. Okay, the one date is the available date. When can you open it up and look at it and do it? Okay, right now the available date is set for June 1st. So after June 1st, everything is open. You can go in there and look at it. Now the due date, that is the day that assignment is due, plus the time. Everything has a date and a time. It may say, for example, June 5th at 10 p.m. Okay. And then there's available until date. All the homework and all the activities will be available until July the 8th. Okay, that's the last day you can take any missed homework or activity. However, if it's late, there is a penalty, and that's given to you here in red. There's a 10% per day penalty for late assignments, and that is the activities and the homework. So after the 5th day of lateness, the most you can receive is 50% of your total points. So for example, at the 5th day plus 1 minute, Canvas says, okay, everything now is only at 50%. If that homework is worth 10 points and you got them all right, the most you can get point-wise is 5 points, okay? So even though you missed the homework, it's still available, but be aware of the late penalty, okay, for those assignments. At the end of the semester, anything that's incomplete, you just simply be given a 0, okay? Like I said, quizzes and final exams have a scheduled time. Those aren't only one attempt and time. So those cannot be moved or cannot be made up unless you have a legitimate documented excuse for needing to set up a different time. Okay. All right. Even with that said, missing an assignment, things like that can lower your grade, but may not necessarily fail you. It depends on how you're doing overall. Okay. But for best results, plan ahead if you can, and we can make arrangements to set the time up for a different time. Okay, instructor expectations, basically academic integrity. Okay, now we do have a way to monitor the activity during quiz and final exams, and they'll be reviewed. And so, having said that, if the browser shows that there's any length of time there it's not accounted for, as far as we're concerned, you're looking things up using some other resource. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, you don't have that much time to begin with respect to the quizzes and the exam. Roughly speaking, you probably have, if it's a 60-minute time limit, you probably have 30, 35 questions. That gives you roughly about a minute, 2 minutes per question. So don't spend time looking things up. Be prepared. Read the subject matter. Okay, so you can come to these quizzes and exams fully prepared to to do well and do your best in it. Okay, you don't have to cheat. All right. So anyway, the rest of the material is pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to leave that for your reading. We have a tentative schedule here on what we will be doing schedule-wise. So the first week, we're going to go to 3 chapters. Okay. And then at the end of the first week, the homework will be due. I'll go to the Canvas course here in a second. But this is our schedule. The ones that are highlighted, Monday quiz, that Monday of that week is the due date for quiz 1, which will cover chapters 1 through 9. And then the week of the 15th, that Monday, the quiz 2 will be available, covering chapters 4 through 6. In June the 22nd, that Tuesday, is quiz 3, covering chapters 7 through 9. And then the week of July 1st, that Wednesday, quiz 4 is chapters 10 through 12. And then that following week, we have the final quiz, which are the remaining chapters 13 through 15. The final exam is scheduled for July the 9th. Okay. All right. So that is basically all I have to say about the syllabus. Everything else there is something for you for your reading concerning GCC netiquette guidelines and so forth. Okay. So let's go to the course website. Okay. When you come into your course website, you're going to see my mugshot sitting there. Okay. You're going to have a copy of my PDF. There's a link there. I'm pointing to it right now as we speak. Some additional information, the Zoom lectures, and so forth. Okay. Also, on the far right, you'll see the breakdown of the homework assignments, 20%, quizzes, 40%, activities, 20%, final exam, 20%. What I like about this page, at the bottom of the page, tells you what's coming up, course summary, and it's all listed by due date. So you shouldn't have any question about when things are due. Okay. Now let's go up here. You go to the far left panel where it says modules. You click the modules and you come to these pages. Okay. So every chapter here is a module. Now I just sent you an email to have added 2 more modules at the end. The second to the last module is labeled Lecture PDF PowerPoint Slides. Those are the PowerPoint slides that I use during the Zoom lectures. They're PDF file formats, and every slide that I use, you can use as another additional resource. Print them out. If you are at the Zoom meeting, obviously you can use them to write notes and so forth, some things that you don't quite understand. The next module that I added is called additional resources. These are the last 3 are simulations. Okay, if you click on them, go in there and take a look at them. I think do this at your own time so you can see what it does. There's one here called periodic table. It's an interactive periodic table that sends you to another website. But click on that periodic table, it gives you a lot of facts and information about any of the elements there, plus a little video from some crazy looking scientists talking about that particular element. So it's pretty interesting. All right. So you got the PowerPoint slides in PDF format, and you got some additional formats. Let's go back to, slide back up to the first chapter. First chapter module. In that module, you'll see you have the textbook, okay? Then you have chapter 1 video. That is Dr. Kim's video with respect to that chapter. You have the worksheet, okay? Then you have the homework for that particular chapter and the due date, okay? So by putting these into modules, it just organizes everything for you, so you don't have to go around searching for things. It's all there in the modules. The textbook, the videos, the worksheet, and the homework. Okay. Now, you can go down to the last module and get the PDF, PDF PowerPoint slides. Okay. Notice here on the back to the panel on the left, you see this, and right after modules, it'll say Dr. Fred's Zoom room. That is what you click. When you click that, it'll ask you to put it into a new tab. And then either you want to download the app, the Zoom app. It'll ask you if you don't have it, if you want to download it. You don't, you say cancel. It uses your browser and you're in the Zoom meeting. Okay. The Zoom app is a good thing. It gives you a little more latitude with respect to what you can do within Zoom. So I recommend downloading it. You check when you download it. If you go to zoom.us, I believe, you can download the Zoom or go to your store. I'm sure they have it there, either the whatever we call Apple Store or the Android, and you can download that app. But they are requiring that the Zoom be at least up to version 5. Okay. Now, if you click the YouTube video, okay, what that does, it will ask you to open up a new tab. And if you do that, that sends you to my playlist that will have all the summer recordings for the Zoom meetings that we have. Okay, where are we at? Yeah, I'm going to turn around here. All right. Then, of course, you can click the assignments button, and it will break down all the assignments individually with respect to the group. You got all the homework there. You have all the quizzes there and all the activities. Well, you got 6 of the 10, and then the final exam. Okay. And then you click syllabus. That brings you back to the page, the front page. Okay. Now, if you have multiple classes going on, one good way to take a look as far as assignments is to utilize the calendar on the far left panel. If you click that, okay, right now it's in May, but let's go to June. You will notice here that it lists all the assignments and their due dates. So at a glance, you can see what's coming. So here we go, June for Monday. A couple of things that's on your to-do list. We have two tables you need to print. It's a shapes table and the periodic table. You're going to use that a lot, so you need to get that printed out, okay? At the end of the week on the 6th, the first 2 activities, activity 1, activity 2 are due, okay? My plan is to be done with chapters 1 through 3 by Thursday. And so come Sunday, the 7th, you have the homework due for the 3 chapters. Now, you don't have to wait till the 7th. By all means, if we get done with chapter 1 on Monday, jump on it, get it knocked out before the Sunday. I put them like that to give you time to maybe, since maybe you're working, I don't know, at least you have the weekends here to knock out the homework and the activities. That first quiz will be due on the 8th. Okay, so that's kind of the manner we're doing. We spend a week. The next week on the 8th, the plan is to finish chapters 3, 4, and 5. That homework is due the corresponding Sunday, and then that Monday we have that quiz. The activities are due on the earlier Saturday. So Saturday is the activities, homework is Sundays. Okay, so on and so forth. Now, sometimes I get the excuse of, well, I didn't know it was due. Well, you got a calendar here, so you know when everything is due. But you can also have Canvas send you notifications to tell you when things are due and so forth. But if you don't want to do that, if you look to the far right here, see where I'm pointing, where my mouse is at? It's labeled calendar feed. If you click on that, you have a link that pops up. You take that link and you copy it and you email it to yourself. Okay, so email it to yourself. Then open it up either on your cell phone or your iPad or your computer, and it is an ICAD file, which then will fill your calendar on your computer, on your cell phone, or on your iPad or iPhone or whatever electronic device you're using that has a calendar, and it would take this calendar in Canvas and put it on your electronic device. So you have access to that all the time. Alternatively, you have the Canvas app you can access. So there's no reason why anyone doesn't know when the due dates are, what days they are. Okay. It's all here in Canvas. You have access to it through either Canvas notifications. I will send emails out to remind you something's coming up. Okay. And so there shouldn't be any hopefully there shouldn't be any I don't remember, I don't recall any of those kind of statements because it's all there. Okay, remember, it's your responsibility. Okay, I try to line it up here for you as uniform as possible, accessible as easily as possible, but there's only so much we can do from our end over here. Okay, now that being said, I think I'm going to stop it here, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this and load it up and put it on Canvas and also on the YouTube channel for you to view. So anyway, we'll see you on Monday. Start thinking about chemistry. Start thinking about your scheduling. How you're going to be able to set time aside so you can accomplish what you're going to accomplish here. I'll do everything on my part to make sure that you have the resources you need to finish what you need to do. But as the old saying is, I can lead you to the trough, but I can't make you drink. All right. The drinking is your responsibility. And I mean the drinking of knowledge. Okay. All right. So you guys take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday.